Springfield has always been the most anticipated stop on the Progressive American Flat Track Series schedule. Day one lived up to all the hype. The final stop of the Mission Triple Challenge saw Tom Drain sweep the singles on his way to becoming the 2025 AFT Singles Champion.
The Australian trying to win his first ever championship. He's going to do it. Off the turn number 4, the 59 leads him to the line. Tom Drain wins Springfield.
And in the Mission Super Twins class, it was a wild ride. 2 youngsters captured the first 2 legs of the challenge.
At the line, James Ott taking the win. It is the Honda Trent Lowe winning main event number 2.
In a thrilling 2-lap shootout, Dallas Daniels grabbed the victory in the 3rd challenge and shrunk the points lead of his rival, Briar Bowden, to just 2 points.
Down the front straightaway. Who's it going to be? At the line, it's the 32. Dallas Daniels wins in Springfield.
What will shake out as the combatants take to the legendary Springfield Mile, presented by Drag Specialties? Find out next on Fox Sports 1.
The Illinois State Fairground plays host to the greatest weekend on the Progressive American Flat Track Series circuit, as today we usher in round 15 and day 2 of doubleheader here at the world-famous Springfield Mile. Hello, everyone. I'm Kristen Beat, joined alongside the voice of the American Flat Track Series, Scotty Dubler, also our 2017 AFT Singles champion, Colby Carlisle. Guys, the Mission Triple Challenge format provided a platform for the unpredictable in the Super Twins class with 3 unique winners. And in the singles class, a stage for our first international champion.
All Tom Drain had to do was get 7th or better. He did way better than that. He went out there and won all 3 main events and the overall. Now, we have an international champion for the first time in Progressive American Flat Track.
I just can't thank my whole team enough, and same with my family, all the sacrifice we've had to do to be here. It's awesome for my dad and mum to give up what they're doing to be over here to help me. It's amazing.
Tom Drain really started to come into his stride at the Lima half mile, and since then he's been able to pick up 6 wins and be absolutely dominant here on the miles, where he was able to grab that championship.
And we'll have more on Tom Drain later, but now let's change gears to the Mission Super Twins class, where Briar Bauman held a slim 11-point margin entering Saturday, which ultimately deteriorated. Colby, it wasn't a great start to the day for Briar.
Briar Bauman and team came up with a new package for Springfield to try to have something faster for the miles, but unfortunately struggled with that throughout practice and qualifying, putting him into an LCQ where he had to claw and scratch his way to get into the main event, but he does, and now he's got a chance throughout the challenge races.
The Mission Triple Challenge format allowed to see 2 first-time riders stand on top of the podium here at Springfield. James Ott and the G&G race team found the podium on their backup bike.
Guys I look up to growing up out there, they're all so good, and I'm just happy to be able to race with them, and to be able to win something it's awesome. I want to do it the rest of the night or the day.
In the second Mission Challenge race, Trent Lowe, piloting the Turner Racing Honda, found the podium in what became an emotional class win.
Thankful for this one, and yeah, we got to do it again. So I guess I can't be too stoked yet.
Mission Challenge race number 3, great action up front from the players all day. And like I always say, the cream rises to the top.
Winning the Springfield Mile is, yeah, it's pretty cool.
I will see you gentlemen later, but for now, let's take a look at Super Twins points as we enter the penultimate round of the series. With the overall yesterday, Dallas made up 9 points on Briar and makes this 2-horse race even tighter with 2 races remaining. 2 points separate Briar from Dallas, elevating the stakes for both riders and heightening the intensity at the most prestigious race of the season. Now with more from Scotty in the paddock.
Down here at the pit walk, let's see who we can find in the Mission Super Twins. This place is hard on motorcycles. Paul Ott, how long did you guys work on these Yamahas? I know you had mechanical in one of the bikes.
Yesterday, all day. Yeah, we were switching parts back and forth, trying to get one good bike for the main event, and I think we'll have that same thing today. So
down to one bike, that's it?
No, we have a backup here. but our other A bike had a mechanical, so we brought in this one. This one's the good one, though. So
they got a good horse. They said that's Paul Ott on the number 19. That James Ott will be riding the G&G race team. Coming over here, got Jay Maloney. Jay, you guys had a lot of issues yesterday on motorcycles. Didn't make the main event. How long did you stay up last night to get bikes ready?
We were up to probably about 11. Yeah, we blew one up and then had a clutch issue on the other one. So when we switched engines, we actually found a couple more things that luckily we found them. So we got everything fixed up and yeah, ready to go. See what happens today.
Got 2 solid horses for today?
B bikes.
All right, we got 2 B bikes. That is Jay Maloney right there. The 2 guys we just talked to salvaged it, worked all night. This guy, however, Maxwell, I just heard that you're not racing today.
Yeah, no, I can't make it out there today. Just a tough day yesterday on the motors. You know, there was a few boys that got claimed, and just for us, just sort of couldn't quite put another one together. So that happens.
Are you gonna stick around and watch all the action today?
Oh, for sure. You know, stick around, watch, learn some things. Sometimes, you know, when you're racing them, you don't get to watch in as much detail. So it should be good for me. I'll learn something, hopefully.
That's Maxwell, unfortunately sitting out today. For more on this awesome racetrack, let's go down to Colby Carlisle.
As we saw at Springfield Mile 1, mile racing, just as important as having a fast bike is having a good strategy. Briar Bauman in those final laps got his plan completely unraveled with those other riders throwing their hats in the mix. Briar's plan couldn't come to fruition. He had to throw it at the last lap, try to figure something out. No, it didn't happen. You need to be thinking laps in laps ahead of what's going to happen, and unfortunately, Briar didn't have that ready to go. Mile racing all comes down to that last corner, that last straightaway, making the draft pass. Back to you, Kristen.
Tom, how did it feel waking up today knowing you're the AFT singles champion?
Yeah, it felt really good. Yesterday it didn't really sink in, but this morning when I woke up, it was seeing all like the posts on Instagram, Facebook and stuff, and then it was really cool seeing all my mates like congratulating me and stuff. It was really cool.
How did it also feel knowing you're making your Super Twins debut here today?
Yeah, no, I'm really excited about that. I've been looking forward to it for a while. I've really been wanting to step up onto a tent and give it a go, so I'm really looking forward to it today.
Tom Drain will make his Super Twins debut later in the show when we come back.
The Progressive American Flat Track Series is being brought to you by Mission Foods. Mission Foods has you covered with race day recipes that are too fast, too tasty.
One thing is for certain today, Tom Drain will not be battling for a championship. He put that away yesterday. And following him again was Wonder Kid Cage Tadman, as the 2 of them were fastest in qualifying. AFT Singles Heat Race number 1, day number 2 at the Springfield Mile. Drain, your pole setter, grabs the hole shot and takes the lead into the first corner.
Chad Coase is going to be the guy that tries to tangle with Tom Drain in this one. He's the only one that's going to be able to run with him, and he comes trying to get him to the line. This is going to be one of the first times he is able to make the draft pass.
Drain goes to second for the first time this entire weekend as Chad Coase showed he had something for the 59 bike. The 49, 59 went back and forth. The 83 tried to play catch-up. That's Braden Fanders.
Chad Coase really feeling Tom Drain out, seeing where his bike's a little bit stronger and where he's weaker, trying to make his final approach to the line, and it's going to be Tom Drain coming to the checkered flag in this one. Chad Coase just short.
Chad was definitely riding really good out there then. I was having to change up my lines a fair bit to see what I could do to sort of stop him from being able to try to get me before the line. It come real close in the end, but hopefully we can make a couple little changes and be right there.
AFT Singles presented by Kicker Heat Race number 2. 228, the rookie Tadman grabbing the hole shot. Here's the 21 of Trevor Bruner making the way in the first corner. The rookie grabbing that hole shot.
This heat race a lot busier than the other one. Not 2 riders able to break away. It's going to be Bruner and Cage Tadman going back and forth.
And one of the veterans in this class, the 21 of Bruner, he's won on miles before he got Tadman. Probably one of his first few miles of his career out here. The 228 was very strong in that first impressions Husqvarna.
And it's going to be Cage Tadman coming to the line here as Trevor Bruner makes an approach, but it's going to be all Tadman across the line picking up the win.
I think if we could just find some good lines and find a good way to strategize a win, I think we have a good chance.
Up next, Big Mike Turner challenge race, $2,500 to win. Tadman, Drain, Bruner, and Chad Coase. Chad Coase takes him up to second, but Drain grabbing another hole shot here today.
And Chad Coase had all the studying from that heat race. He was the closest one. He finally makes his attack here going into turn 3 for the final time.
He went for it into turn number 3 and 4, left it on a little bit longer. He's going to try to lead him up that final corner. Drain right there in the second spot, pulls out to try to make the draft pass. They go way up the inside the front straightaway, and at the line, barely. The 59 taking the win in that big Mike Turner Challenge race out here today at $2,500. Your starting lineup looks like this in the AFT singles class. 228 Cage Tadman, the rookie, is on the pole. 59 Drain will start second. 21 is Brunner. Chad Coase on the front row. Also keep your eyes on the 100 of Walker Porter. A little bit deeper in the field is the 75 of Santero. That is your starting lineup for the AFT singles class. Before we fire them up, let's go to Kristen Beat with our pre-race report.
Cage Tadman was one spot shy of earning a podium at his Springfield mile debut. Today, I chatted with him and his team, and I asked them what, if any, adjustments they made heading into today's racing. Cage told me mental adjustments. He said, on this track, you have a lot of time to think. And for Cage, that led to overthinking, even doubt, rather than relying on his strongest racing instincts. So today, after working with veteran rider and teammate Chad Coase, he said he is now mentally prepared to race for a win on the Springfield Mile.
10 minutes plus 2 laps. AFT singles presented by Kicker main event. 17 riders set to do battle on the legendary Springfield Mile. Tadman, Drain, Brunner, and Coase on that front row. Light is green. Here we go. The 10-minute clock has started into the first corner. The 59, another hole shot by Tom Drain.
Drain picks up every single hole shot we have had this weekend, but right behind him is Cage Tadman. A better start than he had in that challenge earlier on, but he's got Brunner right behind him. How quickly are these guys going to attack Tom Drain?
You have to do it immediately, I would think so he doesn't get too far out in front. Drain leads him into turn number 3. Here comes the 228, and now up to third is Brunner. Here comes another Honda sneaking up there. That's going to be Jared Lowe on the 63. Chad Coase gets back into that 4th position, but he slips wide.
There's a lot of different ways they can play this. Like I was saying, let's finish that thought. Tadman can sit there behind Drain for a handful of these first laps and hope that they can break away. That way they're not going back and forth, because Drain's bike's so fast. He's been able to show that he can go. Right now we've got our top 4 in the top 4 spots.
It almost looked like Bruce Evans took his hand off the handlebar. Something happened down there in turn number 2. A lot of turbulence back there deep in the field. 59, Drain leads him into turn number 3. Here comes Tadman with Brunner in tow. Coase, Fanders, now Walker Porter shows a wheel.
I'm really interested to see how long Tadman's going to sit there, or can he go by, or is he sitting there trying to get them to break away? Whoa, right now it does look like he is.
The 101, Martin had all kinds of head shake on the back straightaway, and now just again here on the front straightaway. So keep an eye on the 101 deep in the field. Here comes Chad Coase around the outside. He reaches over and gives a signal to the 228, his teammate.
Yeah, he taps his teammate there just to make sure he doesn't go all the way up the wall to pinch him off, but Chad spun up.
Look at Brunner getting the draft. He moves back into second. Drain hasn't been passed just yet. Chad Coase goes back to the high side down here in 3 and 4. That's what they've been working on all day. Brunner's trying to shut the door on the 49 bike. They'll get back in line onto the front straightaway. Drain leads the way.
Tadman took a quick look over there as we go to a replay.
Watch the 49. He's the second bike. Takes a look over shoulder and points. Either points or touches 228, his teammate Tadman. Little signals going on already early in this one.
Yeah, those two are actually working together a bit, and Chad Coase is looking to immediately attack, and he wants to go by. Tadman's back there in 4th place now, but I think there's been some talk between these two about what to do, but one guy that you talked about, Fanders, is there now in 5th.
Coase is on the move, Kristen. Here comes the 49 bike.
In speaking with both Chad Coase and Cage Tadman earlier in the day, they do have communication lined up for the race so they can non-verbally indicate their go time strategy. They're putting that into place right now. They wouldn't detail further to me what that go time strategy was, but they do have some non-verbals in place for this very moment on track.
Very good point. We've seen some signals already by the 49 bike. As we talk about it, Drain gets passed for the first time in this main event. Drain back up the inside. Coase goes back to second. Here comes one of the Turner Hondas going into 4th.
The only thing I have concern about there is Tadman. Is he going to overthink all of this talk that they've got going on? He's so new and young to this that did they try to tune him out of it a little bit with the mental race strategy?
these front runners have pulled away from everybody else.
Yeah, and we've got a minute and a half left in this thing, so Drain's going to really start to make a point to not go any farther back. He's going to try to lead this thing. If he's been saving anything, he is going to start burning it up now.
Here comes the 83 Fanders, slides back into fourth. They're side by side for the lead. Bruner's going for it. Bruner up the inside. The Turner Honda goes to lead. Coast goes around the outside. Drain gets split down the back straightaway. Here comes Chad Coast all the way around the outside to lead.
Chad Coast has had the strongest ability around the outside, but the problem is right there you get hung out to dry. There's no one to draft with, and that's Tadman's problem the fast few laps is he's had no one to draft with. He keeps going lower and lower on the straightaways.
We have 1 minute and 2 laps. There goes Hunter Bauer's going to lose touch with the leaders. They're thinning out the herd right now just in front of us. Here comes Fanders up the inside.
That is the first time we've seen anyone but those 4 lead. Fanders just momentarily for a second over Drain coming out at 2.
Is he going too low in 1 and 2?
I don't think there's a necessarily bad line right now, but the key is making sure you can get to draft with somebody. You need someone to draft with down the straightaways.
Time is winding down, about 30 seconds or so plus 2 laps. We're narrowing the herd down to about the top 9. It's Bruner, Drain, Jared Lowe, Fanders to the bottom. Chad Coast goes back around the outside. Oh, one rider trying to hang on to it. Tadman just about slips off the groove with Fanders' help.
Oh, and then Tadman gets moved over by Walker Porter. He's deep in this thing. He's going to have to really fight hard to get back in it. Right now, it's Bruner with a gap over Drain. Bruner's going to lead us the entire way down the straightaway and into 3.
I thought we're narrowing the herd. We've actually picked up 1 rider. We got 11 riders within 1 second of each other. Bruner's going to lead him off the corner. The clock is about to expire. Here they come off the 4th of Springfield mile. Bruner gets back and leads them off the 4. Here comes 2 laps to go from Big P. 2 miles left, Drain back out in front. The 49 Chad Coast up the inside. Bruner, he goes back around the outside. Raggio from the last chance qualifiers up to 4th place. Here comes the 55.
Yeah, and Chad Coast trying to do something with Tom Drain. We got 2 laps left. We saw him attacking that last lap in the challenge race earlier on, but right now he's been attacking every lap he can. Right now, Drain will lead us the entire way. Is he starting to show something that he's been saving?
Here they come off of turn number 4. Drain, Coast. At the bottom of the racetrack goes Tadman, but Bruner gets back in 3rd. Jared Lowe in 4th. Fanders up there in that 6th spot. White flag is out. 1 mile remaining to Springfield mile.
He's going to make the attack down this back straightaway. Bruner positions himself to try to be the one to draft by Drain. Tadman back in the fight now along the inside. He was back in 8th or 9th just a moment ago. It's going to be Bruner running in 2nd. Is he going to make the move? I think you have to draft by Tom Drain going into 3 here and make a big move down the front straightaway. It will be Bruner, Chad Coast as well.
Chad Coast trying to use the double draft pass, but it's Bruner into the final corner. Now in the middle of 3 and 4. The 21, Trevor Bruner in the lead. He's got the 59 right behind him. Here comes the 228 and the 49. Off of turn number 4 at the Springfield mile. Drain goes up the inside at the line. Who's it going to be? It's the 59. Tom Drain wins the Springfield mile. Undefeated in the singles class on the weekend. The 59 is on a roll. Results are in. Tom Drain by 0.028 seconds over Trevor Bruner. Chad Coast is 3rd. Cage Tadman, his teammate, is 4th. Raggio from that last chance qualifier to 5th. Jared Lowe, Braden Fanders, Walker Porter, Roos Evans, Hunter Bauer, and a tough break for Terrence Santero. Had some bike issues in that one. He will be credited with 17. Drain, your winner. 7th win of the season, Kristen.
Tom Drain has won 5 of 6 starts in the singles class on the Springfield mile. Tom, that is a threatening stat if it conveys to the Super Twins class.
Yeah, no, for sure. I've had a really good run here. Ever since we first ever come here in 22, I've always felt comfortable and had a great bike underneath me, and it's always helped, but been amazing. Had a really good year.
Here is the start of the AFT Singles main event. Drain grabbing the whole shot. You got the 220. Tadman was up there. His teammate, the 49 Coast, was there. So was the 21 of Trevor Bruner. Man, anybody was leading this one down that, every straightaway.
So many different riders all ready to take the lead at any time, but it really focused on just a few of them with Bruner here coming to the line. It's going to be Tom Drain drafting by Bruner, picking up the double checkered and winning 5 out of the last 6 here at Springfield Mile.
Kristen is with the 21 of Trevor Bruner.
And Scotty, with a smile, Trevor Bruner just said to me, that's all I had to give.
Yeah, I mean, we had a little bit of a strategy going in, just kind of sit in and see what we could do, just being in tow with them. We knew we couldn't really lead anything, so we just kind of had to sit in and yeah, let's see if we can keep it rolling into Missouri and see if we can come around with 2nd place in this championship.
Thanks so much, Trevor, and well done. Congratulations. A hard-fought race for Trevor Bruner and that Turner Racing Honda team.
2 second-place finishes at the Springfield Miles. Not too bad. Look at this. This is after the race, the 26 and the 55, talking things over. The 24 is like, what are you talking about? And I got 49 and 21 talking things over.
Celebrate, man. Everyone was mad at each other except for Tom Drain. But like I mentioned, all these guys going through their heads, playing out different scenarios.
Little bit of bumper cars going on. Third place here today, the 49 of Chad Coase is with Kristen B.
Chad, at this stage of your career, do these podiums resonate any differently?
Yeah, they do. It's funny you say that because yesterday I was kind of unsatisfied about it, and somebody told me to really cherish and appreciate these moments. You know, you never know when they're going to pass you by, and it let me ride a little more free today, and I feel it made a difference, and hopefully we'll be up here a couple more times. I'm still chasing that top spot, so it's been fun, and thanks everybody for coming, Jared for putting on a great event, and AFT. So yeah, thank you.
Chad Coase, always a factor here at the Springfield Mile, guys.
After a magical weekend on the single, what will Tom Drain do in the Super Twins? Find out next. Welcome back to the Springfield Mile presented by Drag Specialties. Our Dunlop rider profile is with Declan Bender.
I've come to reality that this is only my second year in the class, and I've only done, I missed 5 rounds in the Twins class, so it's just a different level, and I'm still learning, and I still have to work on that racecraft. I still have to work on placement at the end of the race. Yesterday, I led 8 laps. That it's awesome, but you have to finish the race. So I was leading and allowed myself to fall back farther than I wanted to be at, and honestly, I've just kind of been too patient. They always say you have to be patient, and same thing at DeQuain. I just took too much time rather than taking my time. So I need to focus on that, focus on placement, and just be the rider I know I can be.
And good luck to Declan Bender. He finished 4th yesterday, still looking for his first career win. And now let's talk about the track a little bit, Colby. What is it like to run on a perfect track?
Such a great feeling knowing that you can go out onto a racetrack that's been perfectly prepared and so smooth and safe, and it allows you to ride wherever you want to on the racetrack.
Colby, there's a bunch of people and machines that help to make this track perfect every week.
We go fast on motorcycles. That's what we do.
Probably pushing 130 mile an hour in a straightaway, maybe a tick more. Just depends on the track conditions, really. If the track's super sticky and hooked up through the corners, we're obviously going to be going a little bit faster on straightaway.
Everything's real close, quarters, so it amplifies it that much more. It's something you can't put into words. You got to be a competitive person, obviously, to race. If you could put it into words, it wouldn't make it special.
For me, it's the only way that I truly feel alive, I guess, in a sense, when I'm out there on the racetrack. Anything else just, doesn't really do it for me. I don't know if it's just the speed factor or whatever it is, the adrenaline. When you're out there on the racetrack, it's just, like I said, it makes you feel alive.
Obviously, it's important to prep the track as good as we can on that day. Weather is always challenging, but the track and the track prep's everything. It makes the racing better, makes it safe for the riders, and puts on a great show for all the fans.
I've been in this sport long enough and went to a lot of tracks in my younger years when I was a kid and stuff, and you get to the AFT level, and they always have the kind of equipment there to kind of make things right, even when Mother Nature doesn't give us the best circumstances.
Honestly, a well-prepped track is everything. It gets better racing, safer for the riders, and fortunately, Cat Rentals is there for that reason for us, and we're just very thankful for them to be a partner of our series and give us the best equipment possible to get the best tracks possible.
Yeah, it's always good when you show up at a venue and you see the proper equipment to actually prep a racetrack and make sure it's going to be good.
The best part about the Cat Rental store is being able to open up that catalog and rent anything we need to prepare a great flat track. And you see the dedication they are to our sport, and to have equipment at each round is pretty special.
Our epic Mission Super Twins battle rages on when we return. Welcome back to the Springfield Mile. Colby, what an epic day yesterday. It came down to the final race, the final 2 laps of that main event.
And everything started to unravel as soon as Brandon Price made his strike with 1.5 laps to go. Briar Bauman's plan completely fell apart as he got left out to dry.
And Dallas Daniels taking the win, his first Springfield Mile win ever, tightens up that points gap to just 2 points. In other news, Tom Drain, which is Dallas Daniels' teammate, after winning the AFT Singles Championship yesterday, is now on board a twin for the first time ever. Colby, how hard is that transition?
I think here at Springfield is the best place to be able to do that, and that might seem a little bit reversed because it's so fast, but this track is so easy to ride in a way, and Tom's going to build all day long, and we're going to see his best performance come later on in the main event.
Earlier in the day in qualifying, James Ott and Trent Lowe picked up where they left off yesterday. Fastest in qualifying today, and both looking for more.
I learned you gotta ride hard the whole time and you can't make a single mistake or take a breath. You gotta just take a breath on the straightaway and then send it in those turns.
We're learning, we're a new team still, and we're just getting all the kinks out of all the problems that new teams have. So I'm excited for today. I think we are gonna be just as fast as we were yesterday and hopefully finish the day off strong.
Honda hasn't seen the top step of the podium here since 1993 when Ricky Graham rode the Big Red to the win. Mission Super Twins heat race number 1. On the pole is James Ott on the 19, but the 32 Dallas Daniels grabbed that whole shot.
Fastens and Yamahas have been great at the starts all weekend long, and Dallas Daniels gets shuffled back in this one just briefly, but he's able to track down the 19. The 19 had a bit of a gap, but no, Daniels so strong here, was able to use the knowledge in the lines to catch up.
Breyer started deeper in the field, had to work his way back towards the front. There's Drain showing a wheel in his first time ever on a Super Twin on that 59 bike.
And it's going to be Dallas Daniels creeping up, finally making the pass here into turn 3 with his teammate right behind him.
Ott slides right there into the 2 spot off that final corner. Heat race number 1 at the Springfield Mile. Dallas Daniels doing what he does at Springfield this weekend, winning heat race number 1. Mission Super Twins heat race number 2 on the pole is 48 Trent Lowe's had a great weekend going so far. Jeffrey Carver's out there on that Kawasaki. He slides into second.
This race was a lot more back and forth between more riders. Davis Fisher's finally come to play in this heat race here today. He takes the pass into turn 1 as Trent Lowe's been fast all weekend long.
Fisher looking for some redemption, had both mechanical issues on both bikes yesterday. The 48 Trent Lowe is there. Jeffrey Carver just sitting back there lurking on that 123 Kawasaki.
And it's going to be Carver picking up notes lap after lap, coming to the line here as Jeffrey Carver's going to pull out of the draft last lap, last corner, and pick up the win.
Like I have an itch to scratch that this place is the only place that gives it to me.
Mission Challenge up next, $5,000, 4 laps to get it done. Carver on the inside, James Ott on the outside, and here comes the 32 of Dallas Daniels.
But it's going to be Jeffrey Carver that picks up the whole shot. Momentarily will get past in this one, but finally able to pull out the lead, coming to the checkered flag.
Here comes the 123 Jeffrey Carver from Alton, Illinois, winning the Mission Challenge and $5,000 from Mission Foods. Your Mission AFT Super Twins starting lineup. Jeffrey Carver will be on the pole in the 123. Dallas Daniels will start second. Trent Lowe is third. James Ott is fourth. Keep your eyes on the 3. Breyer Bauman starting back there in 8th. And that is your starting lineup for the Mission Super Twins. Let's go trackside with Kristen Beat with a pre-race report.
Breyer Bauman told me today that they have been struggling with straight line speed and traction. He said, however, this team, they are not giving up. He said, you win championships on your worst days. Now, I also checked in with his team manager, Shayna Texter Bauman, just a moment ago, and she said they have been doing everything they can to get that Harley-Davidson competitive against the Yamahas, ready for this main event. Breyer Bauman, who leads the series points by only 2 over Dallas Daniels.
This is what we came to see. 14 minutes plus 2 laps. Mission AFT Super Twins main event. 16 of the best flat trackers in the world. The bikes are in gear. Carver, Lowe, Daniels, Ott on the front row. The light is green. Here we go in Springfield. Daniels trying to grab the whole shot. He's got the 48 sneaking up the inside. Now it's Jeffrey Carver Jr. taking the lead.
Carver able to hole shot this one just like he did that Mission Challenge. Trent Lowe in second. Dallas Daniels. Look at that. The 3 of Breyer Bauman from the back row already in the wheel tracks of Daniels.
That is our points leader sitting back there 4th and 3rd. Down the back straightaway. Here comes Daniels. He swings up the inside, goes by Lowe. Now he's trying to go by Carver. Carver goes in the corner a little bit deeper. And here comes the 3 of Breyer Bauman.
Look at Bauman able to make a draft pass there on Trent Lowe into the corner. That's the first time we've seen that today. He's actually been able to pass down the straightaway. He is making a mission to the front. Oh my goodness, already going by Carver. Breyer Bauman second row to leading almost the first lap.
Breyer means what he's got. Here comes a 3 bike. They're a dead heat across the line. Oh, the 19 of Ott has troubles, puts his hand up. He's trying to get out of the way.
Good job for everybody to go around him. That is a terrible spot for him to break. James Ott out of this one, but Breyer, Bauman, they brought that machine.
Jeffrey Carver goes back out in front. Breyer's right there in second. Trent Lowe and Dallas Daniels your top 4. It looks like the 70 bike of Bender. He's trying to keep these leaders in his sights. Dallas sneaking up the inside. He's side by side with the 48. Now pinches him off.
And it's going to be Carver, the wizard out front, the most stoic rider in the field. He is going to study, but right now he has nobody to study. He is just so smooth through those corners. But Breyer Bauman, the most aggressive rider through these corners, he has to do it just because of the way the bike's been. But it looks like he's got a horse under him right now for this main event. Let's watch this one. Dallas Daniels is going to get a good draft, but so is Bauman.
Daniels trying the double draft, only gets it by one rider, so it's still Carver in the lead. Now Dallas Daniels goes to second. Breyer Bauman in that third spot, who started back in 8th. Trent Lowe still in 4th on that Honda.
This is going to be good telling right here to see if Bauman, as we get a replay, if this is James Ott bike giving up. Brandon Price swerves to the right, able to get by him, and everyone else goes below. James Ott, a player all day, all weekend out of this one.
Side by side for the lead. Dallas Daniels goes to the point. Carver slides back to second. Breyer's right there in that third spot. Here comes the 48 of Lowe. Now the 70 bike. Here comes the 44. Robinson making his way towards the front, as well as the 59 of Tom Drain.
That's the other Harley-Davidson in the field. It's Breyer Bauman and Brandon Robinson on those, but it's going to be Carver up higher around the outside. Dallas Daniels 2 laps in a row down by the guardrail. All the lines are going on, but they all seem to be pretty even right now.
9 riders in this lead group. Now up there also is caught up to the draft. It looks like there goes Fisher off to the very back of this group. I thought he was marching his way to the front. Now he's slipping back a little bit.
And Breyer Bauman right there goes around the outside of Trent Lowe. That is what he's going to have to do. He has to make everything happen throughout these corners because he's not able to finish these draft passes off down the straightaway. So you'll see him keep attacking.
Here comes Brandon Price, marches his way towards the front just like he did yesterday. The 92 is on the move. Yesterday he rode that bike for the very first time. Today, make that the time number 2. The 123 Jeffrey Carver is off the track. Tough break for the Alton, Illinois rider.
And I really believe yesterday the 92 of Price was the catalyst in that race, really causing Breyer Bauman to go from second and potentially the overall all the way back to 5th and 4th overall. But Dallas Daniels controlling this one around. Trent Lowe and Declan Bender touch right there.
Yeah, I don't know if that was on purpose or not, but the 48 and the 70 bike both touch. That's going to give the 32 a little bit of breathing room going into turn number 1. Here comes Breyer Bauman back into second.
Yeah, and Breyer Bauman's going to be able to close that right back up as we get a replay of the touch. Watch the 48 and the 70. He's just going to barely clip his handlebars here with his leg a little bit. Declan Bender able to keep that thing up. No harm, no foul.
It looked like the 70 bike got a little bit sideways, and that allowed the 48 to come up there. Again, that was just a racing incident. The 32, Daniels continues to lead. Breyer Bauman is in second. Trent Lowe back up to third. He's not giving up in that big red Honda.
Scotty, I'm not going to say it, but I think I might have seen a little bit of something coming out of one of those bikes going into 3. But it's going to be the number 3 still out front, but I think that's the bike that we saw something out of.
32 in the lead. We do see a little puff of smoke. Maybe the 3 bike hit. He lost a seal in one of the practice or qualifying sessions earlier today. The 3 bike still up the inside. 32 Daniels. We got 4 of them battling for the lead. You got a group of about 8 riders down the back straightaway. Make it 9. Here comes the 911 of Wiles in the middle of things.
Yeah, we've got smoke coming out of one of those bikes for sure down that back straightaway, but they're going to keep going right now. Breyer Bauman's back to 3rd. Is he going to be able to do anything through this corner, Scotty? We got about 5.5 minutes left.
That's a long time for whoever's bike is smoking. It looked like it might have been the 3 bike. It's scary if you're behind anybody that's got any oil or any smoke going on. We're trying to get it. There it is. You see a little puff of smoke by the 3 bike. He's slipping up the racetrack just a little bit.
Yeah, he did slide up the racetrack. Is there something getting on that back tire? How long is it going to be? Some of these riders are going to start putting their hands up because they want something to happen. They do not want a rider smoking on a mile racetrack. But still, how many laps has it been? Dallas Daniels just leading this thing consistently.
Lap after lap. He won here yesterday.
Scotty, this is huge. That number 3 bike is starting to fall off. He has a lot of smoke coming out of the machine on deceleration.
And another bike off the pace. The 59 of Tom Drain is stopped on the back straightaway. So Drain out. That's 32's teammate. The 3 is smoking in that 4th position. It is changing. Things are going... They're going haywire out here.
Yeah, and what is Dallas Daniels going to do? He's going to see Tom Drain on the bottom of the racetrack. Is that going to worry him at all? He's on the same motor, the same package. That could have been his bike today.
Here comes Henry Wiles. The 911's coming to the front. He's up to 5th now.
The king of Peoria starting to get more and more comfortable on that KTM.
32, Dallas Daniels drops to the bottom of the racetrack. The 48 trying the high line. Here comes Price. Now the 3 bike, the Harley-Davidson. He's up to 4th. The black flag is out for the 3 bike.
Oh my goodness, Scotty, that is huge for this championship.
He's bringing with him the 911 of Henry Wiles. Henry has never won here. And if Dallas saw that, he's going to know that too.
And they've got to put a board out there that shows the number that it is associated with. Briar Bauman probably didn't see it that time because there's so many guys in the pack.
So smoke has been coming out of the 3 bike. He has been black flag. There's some more smoke as he lays over into that corner. It's probably that same seal that was having problems with earlier in practice and qualifying. On to the front straightaway. Will he see the black flag?
He's going to see the black flag this time, I would imagine. Maybe not. He's tucked into the right side of Trent Lowe. They've got the board up, reading the number 2 and Briar Bauman.
He gets out of the way, but he almost takes out the number 70 bike of Declan Bender. Briar off the pace now. He saw the black flag. He has moved over. The championship leader is going to not finish the Springfield mile.
Mathematically, I do not believe Dallas Daniels can win it today because he was down 2 points coming into it. But wow, Scotty, that changes up absolutely everything.
Daniels, he definitely saw the 3 and the black flag. He's got to know that Briar's off the racetrack. Will he push it to win, or will he try to just stay up front?
But how about the 911 of Henry Wiles, Scotty, all the way to the front? The king of Peoria is figuring it out. He has come so quietly all day. We talked about him briefly in the heat race, but Brandon Price sneaks up the inside of him there.
Wiles slips a little bit wide on that first impressions KTM. That opens up the door for the 92. So it's the 32, the 48, the 92, and the 911. Fisher's worked his way back into 5th.
Scotty, we're down to 7 riders from 10, 11 early on in this main event. I would say the cream is riding to the top, but a lot of guys from the top are breaking out in this one.
Here comes the 67. He's trying to march his way back to the front. 911, Henry Wiles trying to win on a KTM on a twin.
Dallas Daniels, one more lap. Nobody has passed him in so long. I haven't seen him take a look over. He is so focused forward, just trying to get it going. Is Trent Lowe content sitting there? He's so young in this class. Does he have the experience to know just to wait? Brandon Price there as well, and he waited until that 2 lap to go.
Wiles marches his way up there. He's up to 4th. I don't know if he's got anything for these other, the top 3. Trent Lowe up the inside. The Honda goes back out in front. It has been since 1998 since a Honda has won the Premier class. Trent Lowe, he's got a gap. The 32, what happened there?
I don't know, Scotty. He pulled a huge gap, and this could be big enough. If Trent Lowe can absolutely burn this lap off, he could. No, Dallas Daniels launches off that corner, Scotty. I would say Dallas is trying to break the group up, but he just must have made some sort of mistake down there in 3 and 4.
Trent Lowe's got a little breathing room. Here comes the 92 of Price. Here comes the 70 bike. Remember, 70 almost went off the racetrack when Briar pulled out of the way, so the 70 is caught back up to these top 4.
And along with that, he also got in contact with the 48 early on in this one. Trent Lowe took a look back at 1 and 2 right now. He just needs to focus forward and try to push as hard as he can. He's got so much corner speed as Dallas Daniels only able to catch up going down the straightaways just a little bit.
Trent Lowe, the rookie in this class, on the Honda in the lead at the Springfield mile. Daniels in second. 1 minute and 2 laps to go. Will we see history being made? The Honda Trans Alp out in front at Springfield.
If Trent Lowe can get just another lap with these guys passing each other back there, they haven't been able to get by Daniels, but if Price or somebody can get in between him and Daniels for a second, he can maybe run away with this thing. But right now, it's going to be Daniels taking the lead back up the inside. Is it 2? No. Trent Lowe takes a look back. The whole group's coming with him.
Yeah, the 32 caught him. The Trent Lowe is looking back. Now this 92 is there. Trent shaking his head a little bit.
Oh, so what he's doing there, he's shaking his head because Dallas is going off the corner a lot slower than Trent. Trent's got more pace through the corner, but Dallas is blocking him.
Sorry about that, Colby. The 92 snuck a peek up the inside. So Dallas trying to control the pace like he did in that heat race.
Yeah, Dallas is absolutely controlling the pace, and Trent's not going to have the experience and the wherewithal to know that Dallas might try to back him up off the corner. We've seen this from guys like Brian Smith in the past.
If Wiles can get up there, it will complete the grand slam for him, but he's back and forth. It is Daniels, Trent Lowe. Now you got the 70 bike getting up there. No, it's the 92. So the Price in 3rd. Price got 2nd here yesterday. Briar's on his way back to the pits on the pit bike.
Yeah, Briar knows the championships is almost all out of his grasp with 2 laps to go, Scotty. It is going to be Brandon Price going up the inside and Trent Lowe not able to finish it.
That's not what Trent needs. Trent needs to stay with that 32. We got 2 miles left now. Here comes the 911. Wiles looking for his first ever mile victory. It's Dallas Daniels. He won here yesterday. They are inches apart. Now the 48 in tow. Here comes the 92, the 911 down the back straightaway.
All right, I'm thinking Trent Lowe needs to try to burn it off around the outside of Dallas Daniels. Dallas Daniels, whether he's doing it on purpose or not, he's backing these guys up in the corner. Trent Lowe has more exit speed. You saw him shake his head a few laps ago. He needs to try to go either under him going into 3 or go around him because Dallas Daniels has the fastest bike to the line.
1 mile to go. Can Dallas Daniels go back to back? Trent Lowe in second. Here comes Price. And Bender is there now. Bender out of nowhere gets up to 4th. Last lap, Colby.
The urgency is here now. What is Price going to do? He knows he has to take a shot, but the most important one's Trent Lowe. He's going to try to pull off to the inside. Is he going to be able to finish the draft? Yes, he is, Scotty.
The 48 Honda goes to the lead. Can Trent Lowe and the Honda win the Springfield Mile? Into turn number 4, the 48 bike. We saw the emotion yesterday. Here he comes. He's got a bit of a gap back to the 32. Onto the front straightaway. Trent Lowe leads the gang at the line. Who is it? Trent Lowe wins the Springfield Mile!
The Honda, Scotty.
Wow.
The Progressive American Flat Track Series has been brought to you by the Cat Rental Store, the official heavy equipment supplier of Progressive American Flat Track, and by Royal Enfield, an official OEM partner of Progressive American Flat Track.
Trent, to say this win is meaningful would be an understatement, considering all this team has overcome this season, and also the personal story behind the Springfield Mile for your team owner, Mike Turner. Take me through what you're feeling right now and how victorious do you feel in this moment?
I first and foremost want to thank my whole team. I mean, I've kind of been a little bit of pain, but that's kind of what it has to be. There has to be some little conflicts in the pit area just to kind of get everything going. Like, I'm serious, they're serious, we all want to figure this out. These guys have put so much into this, and yeah, it just means a lot to finally get one here.
Congratulations.
What a ride. Trent Lowe, he leads 3 laps, but the last one was the most important one. The 123, Jeffrey Carver grabbing the whole shot. Dallas Daniels was there, so was Trent Lowe on the 48.
But it's going to be Jeffrey Carver, the early leader, and that one eventually goes out of it, and Dallas Daniels leads a lot more of the race.
Briar Bauman has a mechanical issue, is black flagged. He will end up in the 14th spot. That leaves it up to the 32, the 48, the 92. Trent Lowe onto that final corner, trying to win his first ever final main event and leads him to the line. Here comes Trent Lowe. Trent Lowe wins the Springfield Mile. Kristen is on the podium with 2nd place.
In an unbelievable turn of events in that Super Twins main event, Dallas, so much that I'm sure you're processing right now, but you just told me off camera, it never seemed as though you guys felt confident here until it mattered.
Yeah, that's pretty much the day today and yesterday. It was kind of like all day we were sort of searching, and in that main event I felt really good, man. I felt like I led the whole race pretty much. I got a really good start, and yeah, just that last lap, I tried to get through 3 and 4 as good as I could, and I couldn't get Trent to the line. But hey, congrats to him, congrats to the Honda guys. I know they put a lot of work into that bike, and for Springfield Mile to be your first win, that's pretty cool. Trent and I grew up racing together, especially here at Springfield over at the short track and TT, so I'm pumped for him. But yeah, bummed we couldn't get that win, but good Springfield weekend. I'm happy to get that win yesterday, and a second today is a strong weekend, and I owe it to them.
Big swing in the points with the black flag for Briar Bauman. Dallas Daniels now your points leader by 13. Briar Bauman 2nd. Robinson is 3rd. Trent Lowe goes up to 4th. Davis Fisher in 5th. Really good weekend here for the 92 of Brandon Price. He's up there on the box with Kristen B.
We have not seen Brandon Price since Ventura. Now at Springfield Mile weekend, back-to-back podiums. How good does it feel to be back?
Man, it feels great. I had to work for that one, and started way in the back, just steady picking them off one by one, and just everybody that's helped me out in my career, I can't thank them enough.
Congratulations, enjoy this podium, guys. Hard-earned for all 3 Super Twins riders.
Main event results look like this. Trent Lowe with his first career win by 0.026 seconds over Dallas Daniels. Brandon Price 3rd, Declan Bender 4th. Henry Wiles will come away with the top 5 in a tough break for Briar Bauman, scored 14th today.
Briar, I'm sure words are hard to find to describe this heartbreak.
Yeah, it's a huge bummer. We got so close, right? Like, and it's bittersweet, but we kind of made a team decision before we went out there, and it was something we knew was kind of risky. We didn't have the speed to go with them in a straight line, and man, I just gotta thank my whole team. It's been a dream season. I have people that have worked nonstop around the clock for me at the Rick Ware Racing Parts Plus Lay's Motor team. We were probably a bit foolish to think we were going to take on the Essence in Racing, but luckily we're all a little bit silly. Look, we knew this was going to be probably our Achilles heel, and yeah, it hurts a little bit, but at the end of the day, I got a son coming, and my wife gets a tote. We never quit.
Man, that is so heartbreaking to hear.
Racer's perspective, that is the last thing you want, to have a mechanical upset your championship like that. I absolutely feel for Briar Bauman.
What a beautiful day. Day number 2 here at the Springfield Mile. Amazing racing. The track was perfect. The weather was perfect. And the racing was top-notch. Tom Drain, undefeated this weekend, wins his championship yesterday. Backs up with a win here today. The Super Twins did not disappoint. Honda taking the first win since 1989. On behalf of Kristen Beat, Colby Carlisle, I'm Scotty Dubler. We'll see you at the Lake Ozark Short Track.